And welcome everyone to episode 209 of Live at the Hive Digital Marketing from the Trenches. I'm Dan Nadelko.
I'm Stacy DeSantis.
I'm Sachita Gadekar.
Alrighty, and today, my favorite time of the year. Always my favorite time of the year. This is the Crystal Ball Predictions Review. God, it's annoying sometimes. I swear, it's so annoying, but we got to do it, right?
We do. People are looking for them. They're searching
That's
for
right.
them.
And every time we say artificial intelligence, the angels shall sing from on high.
And Sachita and I will do the robot.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, so like I said, in today's year in review, we're going to do a little looking back and a little looking forward, but it's going to be a little bit more of a shooting from the hip kind of episode today of Live at the Hive. Again, I have certain feelings on these predictions. It's going to be, I got some spicy takes on the metaverse and some other things as well. So why don't we, I literally have been in different meetings for, I don't know, the last 4.5 hours or something. So
Hands down, you have been, yeah.
pardon me if I'm still getting things together here. I know. This is just how we roll. Okay.
It is.
Yep. So now I totally lost them. Oh, there it is. There it is.
It's all right. I'll entertain the
I
crowd.
promise everybody this is going to work out just fine. There we go. You can tell. It's like, how's the gas tank coming to the end of 2021? Can you take a guess?
Very pricey.
It's hitting the warning. You have 20 kilometers left in your tank. That's right.
And if you go to the pump, forget about it.
That's right. Exactly. There we go. All right, everybody. And welcome. Courtney's saying, bring on the hot takes. Oh, boy. Here we go. Welcome, Pippa. Welcome, April. Welcome, Brandon. And for everybody on YouTube and now LinkedIn, apparently, I believe.
Sweet.
I think I've got YouTube Live on my personal LinkedIn, not quite yet on the Honeypot page because they've got this very strange approval process that makes absolutely no sense. I'm still playing Fortnite, eh? That's weird because we had changed the topic, so that must be a little bit of a bug. Oh, well, we're playing Fortnite. Number 1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite. We about to get
Sweet.
down.
I mean, I don't know.
I think
Facebook.
that's a restream bug. That's a restream bug.
Okay.
We'll have to just totally change it and fix it up, but we will do it. But yes, I've been playing Fortnite for the last week. That's what I do. Alrighty, so let's just get kicked off. And if you are watching on LinkedIn, please throw down a like, subscribe, a follow. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe, ring that bell, turn notifications on. And by all means, everybody, if you're on the live and you're jumping in, please feel free to comment, ask questions, interact. Even if you're watching on demand, we do monitor our comment section, so feel free to drop a question, drop a comment, and we're happy to chit-chat. Okay, so let's talk about this. Who wants to just do the very quick overview?
I can.
All right.
Okay, so we're just going to be reviewing 2021, the digital marketing trends that completely overtook 2021, and our predictions for the coming year, and just the upcoming trends to look forward to in the next year.
Perfect. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. Now, a little bit of context on this one. Oh, I still have Courtney's here. There we go. Courtney's comment there. Oh, geez, Brandon. Here we go. Hopefully it won't take a fortnight to fix. Am I right? I don't know. I'm going to box you like a fish. Free kill. Let's go. These are all Fortnite jokes. If you, my kids play Fortnite, I play with them. I'm very bad.
Oh, but you just said it. I shared that TikTok meme with that little kid that goes, okay, let's go. And Dan was like, I don't get it because my son says, okay, let's go all the time when he's playing Fortnite, right?
That's true. If you've ever wanted a lesson in hilarity, play in a Fortnite game with like 5, 10-year-olds and then put your headphones down, put them to the side, and they're like speakers. They're so loud.
Oh, wow. Really?
Anyhow, yes, it's true. It's very true. All right, so let's actually get into this here. So some of the 2021 predictions, I'm not entirely sure why we have percentages by these. I don't have any memory of this whatsoever, but that is not surprising.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's likely that all those 70% are going to be way past 100%.
It's like a year ago. You figured maybe you did something at the time and talked about it. This might have been the importance of it, but
Oh, okay.
let's just run through this super quick so we don't have people here till 7 o'clock at night. Shoppable social media. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I should have done that. Okay. Shoppable social media. Was that happening? Yes. Yes, it was. Yes. The importance of lead generation.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that a little bit when it comes to people are making up terms again. Zero party data, first party data, second party data, third party data. But because of all of those changes, we did see that that creating a strong leads database really became an integral part of business and your business strategy. The use of boot camps. So you see them all over the place now. Obviously, pandemic induced, but definitely there. Calculators and tools. Ding, ding, ding. Brand awareness. Okay. This one definitely has taken a huge rise, and mainly because of the saturation of all of these platforms. So if people quite simply need to know who you are before you can start to sell them a thing. This is something that we bang a drum with all of our clients, is that brand awareness and creating that one-to-one connection where you can build trust is super important.
Because, Dan, as you say, you can't sell to a cold audience.
That's right. Well, you never sell your core product to a cold audience. And that's a real tough one to get through sometimes to a lot of people that there's just a huge spend. I mean, Sachita, you've seen that before, like what it
Yeah,
costs
for sure.
to go
And
up.
we keep pointing out the branded campaign, how it's performing, and with respect to the, compared with the other campaigns, the branded campaigns always win.
Facebook groups for engagement, the importance of email. Email has not gone anywhere. Facebook groups for engagement, absolutely. We see that all the time. Chatbots and messaging, don't need to explain that to you. That's huge. Probably the two that were maybe off a bit on the gamification side. I don't think that gamification has really increased or decreased or kind of moved a needle. I would say that the voice search, that was probably a bit of a miss. I actually think that voice search has really surged with just Amazon and Google. Literally, I don't know about you both, but you can basically get these things for free all over the place. Like Google and Amazon are just trying to pump these things out to your home, right, at all times. So that's our little summary. I think we did pretty good, but we also like to be very practical in terms of what we're talking about. So let's just jump right into it. So who wants to talk Omicron? Oh, no. Did I just get everything suppressed? Basically, moving into 2022, we're still adjusting to these worldwide health issues that exist. Those pandemic-based shifts in consumer behavior aren't going anywhere. I think they've actually changed the way that people shop and just live in general. I don't know if either of you have anything to add to this one, but those aren't temporary changes, right? Like the rise of e-commerce and delivery services and that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have got so accustomed to getting things right at your doorstep, and without having to go out and drive to the shops. It's become so much easier and so much time saving, and that's why I think I've definitely adapted to these changes, and I want to keep using these services moving forward as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also important to note that digital transformation found its way into the copy. That's just a buzzword, but I mean, I think this notion of consumers and everybody. I mean, even a year ago, Like Zoom is just an afterthought for people at Google Meet. It's like, okay, we can do that, no problem. It used to be a huge explanation, and there was always a big kind of boulder to roll up a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Digital ad spend obviously becomes more and more important, and it's continuing to happen. Prices are going up, inventory is going down. Facebook and Google, as the two biggest players, are trying to add additional inventory points everywhere they can. And so that is just going to continue. And search and discoverability. So, there's a distinction between SEO and something like TikTok, which you're not really optimizing for discoverability. You are in a sense, but it's really discoverability to that algorithm, which is different than search engine optimization. But discoverability is going to continue to be hugely important. So, your ad campaign, for example, if you're just running a 1-week campaign around Christmas and then you stop, you're not going to get a whole lot of traction in this day and age with the saturation of information and content that just absolutely dominates all over the place.
Yep. It's all about convenience.
Right. Oh, there we go. All right. So let's kick it off with one of my favorites, and this is where there's going to be a hot take coming very shortly after. One of the things that we're seeing that's really going to take over, it's going to be huge, is AR, augmented reality. And behind the scenes, companies like Niantic, and if you're looking at your screen and you can kind of see that, although it's very small, you're seeing this cute little game called Pokemon Go. And Pogo, as it is lovingly referred to by fans, like Sachita is a massive gamer.
She is.
Totally into all sorts of different cultural phenomena. We're joking. We had our Christmas party, and I spent some time with Sachita's husband, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm good. I have a lot of homework to do during my vacations to watch all of those movies and play those games.
These little movies like Star Wars.
Terminator.
Terminator. Yeah. Anyhow, just joking. But AR is augmented reality, and that was part of the Terminator joke. You know what? This is the irony. April's saying Sachita can beat me in all games. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me at all. It's like, first time ever playing a game, boom, take everybody down.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about AR and why it's important and why it's going to outdo the metaverse. 100%. The metaverse, I think, is going to happen someday. I will get that. Oh, Pippa, stop this. Why are you kicking a hornet's nest? My favorite movie of all time, the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater. I can't go down this rabbit hole right now. Can I?
You can, because I'm ready to go there with you.
Well, when I was a boy, back in 1977, we didn't have the internet. So you got to see this movie once, and you never saw it again, and you had to buy a little plastic figure. And then you went to the movie again, and you saw it again and again and again and again until it did its run in movie theaters. But again, remember, like today, it's like, oh, it's on Netflix forever, right? Or it's on YouTube forever, or whatever. And we didn't have that. So we had to use our imagination. We had this one movie that still holds up today. And back in the day, like it was like our universe because it was like nothing else, right? That was
Who was your favorite character, though?
Huh?
Who was your favorite?
My favorite.
Are you like our friend
in A New Hope? A New Hope?
What?
Grand Moff Tarkin, man. He was the best. He's my favorite.
Who?
Oh, gosh. Grand Moff
Yoda,
no.
Chewbacca,
Okay, to anybody that is into Star Wars, Grand Moff Tarkin is the coolest, baddest. He wasn't even scared of Vader at all. There we go. Good job, Brandon. All right, let's get back on track because we're going to lose viewers and listeners by the twos if we keep this up. All right. So, in AR, augmented reality is an overlay on what you really see either through a camera or you could see it through a VR Oculus type thing. But AR for digital marketing, you see it in IKEA now. You see it on clearly.ca and clearly.com glasses. You can see it on sunglass sites. It's very ubiquitous now. It's kind of everywhere. But with AR, what companies like Niantic are doing are actually doing real-time mapping of the entire planet. Like the entire planet. And that is powerful in and of itself. So let's talk a little bit about, oh, okay, we were going to talk about that. So let's talk about why AR is better than VR. And there are a few really, really solid reasons as to why this is the case. Oops, that's the wrong one. All right. In the metaverse, which everybody's pumping because it's super hip right now, because Facebook's all in on it and this is going to change the world and everything, but it doesn't really matter unless it changes human behavior, right? Just like social networks when they first started were really not that powerful. Friendster and MySpace kind of came up a bit, but really the rise of Facebook became powerful because of the number of nodes or people that were in that network. The problem with the metaverse is simply this. Is your body needs spatial orientation. You live in a three-dimensional world, and your body lives and moves within that three-dimensional world. And what they're seeing in the metaverse is when people go fully into they can't last a long time in that world without either feeling ill, feeling off, feeling uncomfortable. So it's a fad. AR is much more practical in the sense that it is fairly ubiquitous now. You know, whether you're on a mobile device or you're on a computer, it has real world practical applications, and the underlying technology that companies like Niantic, that you wouldn't think that they're actually mapping an actual planet, which is kind of wacky to think about, right? But overlaying useful information, that was the Terminator reference, is incredibly beneficial across a whole bunch of applications. Everything from, does that new dresser drawer look good in my bedroom? Right?
Exactly.
You
Instead
know?
of, I kind of think of VR as almost like going whale watching in Iceland in the North Atlantic without taking a seasickness pill, which is something I have done. And you feel your whole equilibrium is off, and it's kind of cool and it's fun for a temporary thing. But would I want to go shopping wearing a VR lens? Probably not. But with AR, I would.
Yeah,
You know, and I
absolutely.
could see what's going on. So.
I think the metaverse is obviously going to be a thing. There's no doubt about it. But the technology is not there in terms of practical applications. And if you're looking at marketing and what's going to shift trends in digital, AR is right here, right now. It's got platforms that are fairly mature, relatively mature, and they're ready to go. So if you're thinking about something, what's going to happen in 2022, you're going to see more augmented reality applications that are easier to use, immediate, and actually have an impact.
Yeah, and I think the adoption of AR has been a little bit more seamless. Where Dan, you and I've talked about this. We both have had friends that got the VR lenses, and they went into like the whole piece, and it was great for like an hour, and then they never picked them up again. With AR, like you just have to pick up your phone.
It's a common use case. Like I think the technology for wearables is not there yet, right? Like an Oculus is still big. It's still bulky. It's like, it's not this, you know, it's not like you're putting on a pair of glasses or like in Black Mirror popping in a little contact lens. Like it will be someday, but not today is kind of the point. Okay. Moving right along, and this one's going to be a big one, and this is going to be a huge one. It already kind of is. And that's kind of the thing about these predictions, is not so much like what's going to break this new ground. This headless commerce has been around for a while. It's been promoted heavily by Shopify, where they can move markets. But headless commerce, where we've seen this already. You see this on TikTok shopping. You see it on Instagram shopping. And basically what you have is, what you have is in headless commerce is you don't have to leave your own app, right? It'll interact on the back end. Oops. Sorry, Sachita. I'm not sure who I'm hearing here. Getting like a little echo. Maybe it's just me. So you can shop instantaneously on TikTok. It connects on the back end into a Shopify store. The order is placed. You never have to leave that experience. I think one of the things that you're going to see, this is just going to get rolled out everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, no longer are you going to have to be like, okay, I'm going to have to bookmark this and come back to it later, yada, yada. No, it's just seamless. And it's, you know, it's like a web standard that they've had for over 20 years. Like, get to what you need to get within 2 to 3 clicks, right? And they've just made that seamless over all these other applications. So,
Yeah. So, again, and you could turn headless commerce into a simple statement, which is like fish where the fish are. Don't drive. Don't try to move. And this is digital marketers do this with things like CTRs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is well, we've got to move that person out of the environment they're in
Yes.
and onto our landing page and get them to do this and get them to do that,
Yeah.
which, if you think about it, is a really clunky notion, right? What you want to be
Yeah.
thinking of in your digital marketing experiences is, and Sachita, maybe you can speak to this as well, things as simple as lead gen forms, right? That you run a ton of lead gen campaigns, highly effective for acquiring new leads and gaining new contacts.
Yeah, exactly. Again, because it's so seamless, it's right on the spot. You're not taking the users to a different website where they have to manually fill in um, the form. It's just your these platforms kind of already fill in that information for you, and it's definitely has more CTR, more conversion rate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Moving right along. And Sachita, I think you were talking about this a little, so I'll let you speak to this. I think my 2 cents on this is hybrid events will be the new normal. And if you're not thinking about live and virtual every time, even though you might love live, if you're missing other than the virtual, you're missing a whole opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like we were talking about how COVID brought in these new experiences for us. I think live webinars, right from sitting at your home, you can attend those webinars. Um, that should continue in the coming in the coming year as well. But that should be also accompanied by like on in-person webinars. It just gives somebody an option to be there and watch the event live.
Yeah, like live events, any live event that can have a unique virtual experience and hybridize that thing at a lower cost for your attendees, you can increase the volume. So that's not going anywhere at all. Okay, Stacy, over to you for this one, since I know this is your gym jam.
I love short form content. So we probably won't get to it, but we did have a What's New article about how TikTok just released this thing about, or this study on how women are really adopting to TikTok because of its authenticity. So what TikTok and YouTube Shorts are basically, anywhere from 15, 30 to 3 minute videos where you can showcase your products. And we just feel that this is going to continue to evolve. You've already seen Instagram Reels really adopting a lot of the cool stuff that TikTok has already launched in terms to replying to comments and such. So it's a really great way to build a piece of content where it's mobile friendly, it's engaging, it can be a conversation starter, it's authentic because it's not overly produced, or generally it's not. So we think it's going to be just something that's going to even take off more and evolve. So have more pieces that are going to be integrated into it. Like you said, headless commerce can be one of those things. The evolution of live video and what that looks like. They're talking about actually TikTok becoming almost like a, not Twitch, but very similar, where you can actually have interactive gaming conversations with one another. They're looking into doing that. So it's definitely something that if you're not on YouTube Shorts, or you're not sure what it is, or you're not on TikTok, you're gonna want to hop on the bandwagon, because it has definitely evolved from girls dancing.
Yes, and short form content is going to get shorter, punchier, more digestible, faster. This we saw with the release of the 3 minute TikTok, where the entire TikTok universe is like, oh my God, 3 minutes. 3 minutes is so long, right? But if you're looking at it from, I do a podcast, I do a webinar, I'm doing whatever, you need short form content in your content marketing mix on every point. And look, even Google and Facebook, they have support for 15-second video, right? In ads. And so you see this blending of your long form, medium form, short form content, and your paid digital strategy even more than ever, is going to continue to blur because this is not going anywhere. So you have to embrace these short form content, understand how to produce it, understand how it works, and understand why it's important for your business. Because if you're in a business that is very traditional, like real estate, for example, tends to be, I mean, if I see another bus in Cambridge with someone's face on it that says they're going to sell my home in 30 days or they're going to buy it, I mean, that's not that unique, guys.
Yeah. It's not as innovative as you could be. And Dan, you made a really good point about if you have a podcast or you have, a longer form of content, look for ways that you can repurpose that onto TikTok or YouTube Shorts and give people just a little teaser, a little snippet of what you're doing. In regards to a real estate agent, I've seen a ton of them where they do a really good job of giving you a quick house tour. Why not,
Yeah.
right? So
Absolutely. Well, there are some very, very good. I'll give you some. Jeez, I can't put that comment up, Pippa, because you're calling out specifically somebody. And it's a small town, so I'm not going to put that comment up. But from the perspective of, let's use real estate as an example and where shorts can be really effective. Yes. Gimbal style walkthrough tours that show a house. Another really good one that people have used for short form content is, what does $500,000 get you in North Bay versus Toronto versus Kitchener versus Vancouver, right? So there are some really good content creators using shorts in a traditional industry very effectively, including things like Instagram Reels, et cetera, et cetera. So, but those are the people to emulate and invest in and look to 100%.
I have one quick tip for a real estate agent too. If you, a big thing that MLS is always trying to push is the walkability or the walk zone. So why not, if you're a real estate agent and you're selling a property, take your phone, go for a little walk and show how close it is to get to local amenities.
Yep. The walk score. Yeah.
The walk score.
And the walk score is hugely important. That was something that we looked at quite a bit. Okay, cool. So moving right along here, and Suchita, I will let you help explain some of this to our fine audience.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. So first party data, it is basically the information that is collected directly from the customer. And first party data is categorized again into like zero party and second party and so on. And then we have the third party data, which is
Facebook.
basically collected from, a third party like Facebook.
Yeah, so, what we're going to see is obviously living in a cookieless world where security is becoming increasingly important. iOS has made all of their changes. We're going to see that this is going to become increasingly important for all businesses. Does not matter, because you don't have a choice on this one. And just for definition's sake, and I think it's a really stupid, Forrester came up with it, whatever. I'm going to throw around another marketing style term, but zero party data is defined as the data which people actively will share with you themselves. So it's first party data. I don't know what the heck they're doing inventing zero party data as an actual term.
You know what's in common between the two of them though? Party and data. It's a data party.
There you go. Good one.
Sorry. Bad joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that one's going to make it. But your first party data, collecting your audience data, I've been saying this for as long as we've had this, is the reason Apple is a powerful company is because it's not iTunes as a thing. It's the database, the customer database underlying that makes it powerful, right? Amazon's customer list, the reason if you're an Amazon seller, you are not allowed to contact buyers directly because that's Amazon's database. So if you look at some of the biggest companies in the world, the reason that they're powerful is because they have first-party data that they use, that they collect, right? You get better accuracy, you get better performance, you have to invest in it more, but you get better measurement, you get better attribution. And just as an example, and I see some B2B businesses do this, and it's just cringeworthy, is going out, we bought 25,000 leads.
Woo!
You bought 25,000 emails, though. Okay, and they're clean. Go ahead and send to it. And what's going to happen? Nothing. You're going to pour your money down the drain, right? So, yes, the rise and the continued rise of first-party data. Okay. Stacy, you want to go on this one?
I can go.
Oh, I'll let
Sachita,
Sachita
go for
go.
it.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is very interesting, and I use it a lot for online shopping, especially when my favorite influencer is wearing something that I would like to purchase. I just do a visual search of it, and I have so many options, right, from the prices, the brand, and so much information that I can get from visual search. Pinterest has also introduced something called as Lens, which we can upload an image and it helps you search relevant pins. Um, so I think, yeah, it's kind of upcoming and people are already using it. And yeah.
Oh, I definitely think that visual search is going to continue to be. I mean, it's kind of like voice search, right? Voice search is only relevant when people are doing it at scale, right? And people are doing it at scale. And again, very much like an AR, augmented reality, visual search is going to continue. Just where are they going to go with your mobile device, right? And then you look at things like, the notion of AR style glasses prompt visual search. And those glasses, like, they're coming, right? They've been through a lot of different iterations, but they are on their way. And they're not like, it's just, you kind of saw like the Model T with Google Glass, right? And then you saw some other private companies get lots of equity funding. A company like North, for example, right, which used to be Thalamic Labs. They're still working on it, and it's still a little bulky and needs some features. But when it hits, it rolls out at scale. And this stuff, when it rolls out at scale, like, they're not joking. It happens real fast, right? The point to which, like, what did we buy? I got a Nest subscription, so we have a Nest camera. So we ordered the subscription, right? $6.99 a month. Google sends us a Google Assistant with the screen. The thing's like worth $119 in the store, and Google says, "Oh, $6 a month. That's more valuable to us. You get this hardware that's retailing at $119, right?" And that's what they're going to do.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's what they'll do, right? As soon as somebody nails the glasses thing, you're going to be able to get, your glasses for free because everything else that comes with it. On that note, moving right along, content creation and repurposing. Now, you might be saying, like, oh, come on, that's not a prediction. It is, actually. It's just not very sexy. And the thing is, like, we talk about it a lot. And I think the issue I have with this, and we're kind of ahead of it because it's going to come, like, soon, around just probably next week. Every blog on the planet's going to have their predictions for 2022, and it's all going to be, frankly, like a lot of BS, right? Mm-hmm. Because the prediction is that content creation is going to continue to be super important, and it is. Like, if you're not thinking that creative content creation is not going to be part of your marketing strategy, then you have to go back to that drawing board and take a good hard look at it, because content is everything. And then the important part of it is getting really good and effective at repurposing by channel and turning that into a process that you can scale efficiently without pulling your hair out, without, completely draining your gas tank, is going to be a trend that's really going to continue throughout 2022. And it's also going to increase in impact. There you have it.
I love the one line you said, the content is everything.
It is in this world, it's like, it's crazy. Mm-hmm. So, okay, Stacey, this sounds like your cup of, and Sachita, this isn't nothing, because Sachita's our traffic manager, so she runs paid campaigns and paid platforms. This is not a slight against that.
No, not at all. It's like the peanut butter to my jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So we've kind of been talking about this for the last couple of months, but it's just going to continue to evolve. And that's the idea that when you're creating all those content pieces that Dan was just talking about, and you're optimizing and developing that workflow, it seems really like technical and not so sexy, for lack of a better way of putting it. But the idea is that when you are creating that content, you're not just posting to post, that you're actually developing a story. So if you're going to be advertising something, it's not going to be about the specs of a product. It's going to be one's story with that product. So what was their problem? what was the resolution, and actually, layering that in such a way where you're telling us like a legit story behind your product or service. So that way it becomes relatable and it emits an emotion behind it, because people, like, stories have been passed down through time. Why? Because they're memorable, and we have to remember that. And while this is maybe, again, like you were saying with content, it's not like, ooh, earth shattering, like, prediction, but we used to kind of have a very, like with traditional marketing, used to be like, buy my jewelry at blah, 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 and there was really no emotion or story behind it. And now we're really trying to layer in these pieces, so that way when you're engaging with a brand or business, it emits like an emotion, like I was saying, like maybe it's friendly, maybe it's informative, maybe it's, humorous, whatever it is. So, and you can only do that with stories, really.
Yes, for sure. So I think one of the things is that all great marketing has done this over the years, and you can go back to the iPod, like the playlist of your life, where all of a sudden people were talking about it. I mean, these are themes that have existed, but back then we lived in a world where access to individuals was gated by large media companies, and so everything could be crafted, right? And everything was crafted into a storyline that marketing agencies and advertising agencies could craft completely and pretty much control like at scale exclusively. Well, what social media has done is disintermediated that gatekeeping, right? Where you can have a YouTube channel, you can tell the story, you don't have to go through these major media things. But one of the things is that storytelling can be used you can advertise your content through, create audiences with that first party data, develop a relationship, and then you can say buy now, right? And that's this kind of see, think, do, care strategy we talk about, which is promote your content first. Don't be shy to create great content and promote it using boosts, for example, because the people that you engage with, you wouldn't be able to reach them easily in any other way. And then using those audiences that you create, get their contact information and treat it well. And then you'll have audiences that you can control, and you will develop that relationship, and then you can hit buy now. So using that storytelling, it's greater than straight up just advertising.
Yeah, and tap into your users that are currently using your products and share their stories, because each one of those individuals will have a different perspective on how your brand or service assisted them. And if you collage that almost, or tell that ongoing, thread of stories, talk about advocacy. People will immediately develop that with your brand.
Well, and I
Or
think
close to. Maybe
yeah.
immediate is a little too like firm, but it could evolve into that.
Yeah, and I think, Suchita, like when we run campaigns, if we see, very basic, kind of not very well thought out content, it doesn't perform as well as like really creative, really well thought out storytelling style content.
Yeah, for sure. We've been dealing with this like every day. We try and strategize first. See that our ads, our messaging matches the content as well. They're in sync, and that's how your campaigns would perform, with the right creatives and the right messaging.
Yeah, totally. All right, the last one is all mine.
All right.
This is one that I am very passionate about, because the world's gone insane, and the world has lost their mind. Yeah, it's true.
I think we need your drawing in this, though. What's this drawing?
Yes, my Microsoft Paint
Yes.
illustration. All right, let's talk a little bit about the mass adoption of blockchain technology, and we won't live on this for too long. I should have included that. I don't think I have it anymore. Let me see. But talking about the blockchain, people are going to say crypto, and then they get into Bitcoin, and then they get into altcoins, and then they get into shit coins. And then you get into things like NFTs, which are really kind of in an embryo stage. What I am talking about is the underlying blockchain technology itself that powers all of this stuff will start to be mass adopted by major platforms as an underlying part of their infrastructure, which leads to all sorts of fun things. I'm not even necessarily, I know it's on the slide here, but more countries adopting Bitcoin and national cryptocurrencies. I think what you're going to see is this is one, it's ripe for abuse by smaller nations and potentially like warlords and things like that. But blockchain itself is super important for this reason, is that it is a distributed public ledger that can verify transactions, smart contracts, all those fun things. And it provides a technology underlying it that is very, very real. So you don't have to look at like what is it, apes, NFTs, things like that. Those are all layers and abstractions and things that are apps effectively on top of the blockchain. And what we're going to see are things like companies like Amazon will start to introduce blockchain technology into their platforms because it is a smart way to go, right? It's a smart thing to do. And it can help secure and verify, and also from a big business perspective, and the reason I say why blockchain technologies will be integrated into existing platforms is it also helps disintermediate a lot of third parties that provide potentially services and or things to centralized sources. So what we're going to start to see is, for example, and I'll just do this quickly, but Ethereum is not really a cryptocurrency, people. It's a software development platform utilizing smart contracts, and that's what it's meant to do. Ethereum is intended not to be traded like Bitcoin. You can't think of it. Bitcoin you can think of as digital gold, okay? Like if you go buy a car, you're probably not slapping down a few bars of gold or a few ounces or however many, right?
Yeah.
About $1,200 an ounce of gold, right? You're not, like literally. So Bitcoin is not intended as a transactional thing. Like it can be used that way, just like gold could be. I don't know, if you went to a car dealership and you wanted to buy a Lambo and you brought in, I don't know how much a bar of gold is worth, but that's way too much. But enough ounces of gold.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they would take it. I don't know. It's just not really accepted. You know what I mean?
You think?
In the world. I don't know. They'd be
Yeah.
stupid not to. I'd take it if I owned that dealership.
They'd probably be like, is this real?
Yeah, exactly. But the point being is that, so Bitcoin is digital gold. And so it's not really intended for day-to-day transactions. It's kind of more of that investment side. Ethereum is not intended as a cryptocurrency that you would go to Amazon.com and people talk about it now. It's like, I'm using 1 ETH for this. Because dum-dums, if you realize what Ethereum was, is a software development platform for management of smart contracts, complex contracts like mortgages, especially in developing nations where they are rife with issues like legal problems and, you know, how do you enforce something? Those legal contracts can be written in stone in a smart contract, fully verified by the blockchain, and therefore it's immutable. Right? And an NFT is only, and this is where it drives me crazy because this incredible world-changing technology is being dragged down this funnel or this drain of garbage because of people making shitcoins, promoting it on YouTube. You know, non-fungible token technology is absolutely astounding. It is not a scam at all. People are layering it with scams, right, that give it a bad name. But the smart contract and blockchain technology is literally designed and will revolutionize the way that we bank, the way we send contracts, the way hospital and medical records are stored. And if you think about the disintermediation and that technology that blockchain can bring and the world-changing things that it can do, medical records in developing countries, medical records in Canada, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like they lost a bunch of my family's medical records and misplaced them during a hospital renovation. Like that's a big, it's a big problem. That piece of paper's gone, but that had a bunch of important stuff in it.
Wow.
Right?
That doesn't inspire confidence.
Yeah. But the thing is with NFTs and non-fungible tokens, but the blockchain in and of itself, what we're going to see in 2022 are big companies coming in and bringing mass adoption because startups are going to come in and start trying to disrupt, and they've got a leg up and a serious advantage with things they can do on the blockchain. So, the end. My rant my rants about blockchain is over, but I I watch YouTube, and you see all these like absolutely disgusting people creating a shit coin, pumping and dumping it, and just totally abusing a system that has so many great possibilities around it.
So Ethereum is a currency. I'm joking. I just triggered Dan.
Well, it's the funny because like having a tech background, like 5 or 6 years ago, I've got a book. It's called the Book of Blockchain somewhere around.
Yeah,
here.
you still have it in the office.
I've
never seen that.
It's a great book about what blockchain is and how it works, and Ethereum's a platform for developing applications that have real world uses, right? Like that's what it's for. And then there's this coin that's on top of it. And then people are mining it and trying to do all this stuff with it, but it shows a fundamental lack of understanding of what can be done with blockchain technologies and what can be built with it and how it can be rolled out. And coins are not the thing. There will be a crypto coin that will be like money, whether it's Tether, which is a cryptocurrency that's tied to the US dollar, which kind of breaks the mold of what it's supposed to be in a sense of disintermediating from fiat currency. But anyhow, look, I could talk about this for another 2 hours, just rapping about not about blockchain technologies. Not crypto. All right, we did it.
We did it.
We did it, folks. And just a programming note, it is December 17th, but next Friday is Christmas Eve. So no live next week. I might do a montage. I might make a montage and do like a recorded live or something like that. But we'll see. I can't imagine that there's a whole lot of people that are going to be really digging talking about digital marketing on the Friday evening of Christmas Eve, and I feel like Ebenezer Scrooge anyways, so.
I mean, if you're very passionate about this, I'm joking.
I mean, it's cool and all, but yeah, it's one of those days of the year you should be spending time with family. And remember, time is your only non-renewable resource. Give yourself time because it's the only thing you can never buy and you'll never, ever get back.
Yeah, be kind to yourself. Yeah.
Think about that. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for episode 209 of Live at the Hive Digital Marketing from the Trenches. I don't know when we're going to see you. Not next week. And then the week after is
31st Eve.
31st.
That's Christmas Eve, right? Or New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Yep.
Nothing happens at my house on New Year's Eve anyways, because like we have kids, so they go to bed at semi-normal time. My 12-year-old said, "Hey, I don't think I've ever stayed up to New Year's." And I'm like, you know what? Absolutely nothing happens. Like really, nothing at all.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and that's it. So if you're going out for those kinds of things, have fun. I'll be at home. But we will see you then in 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do something over the holidays for fun, but we'll see. All right, everybody. So we will see you in 3 weeks. Same B time, same B channel. Have a great one. Enjoy your holiday season. Spend that time with your family and your loved ones. Disconnect. Get out of the Matrix, Neo. That's going to be a good movie to go see. I heard it's good. I also heard Spider-Man No Way Home is excellent, possibly the best Spider-Man movie of all. Suchita will give a full movie review when we get back.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend and a great holiday season, and we'll see you in 2022.